Dave has been managing Miller Plant Farm since, I'm told, 1996. His son told me that, but I'm not sure. It seems to me it's been longer than that. And since 2003, he's been president of the Family Farm Corporation. Dave's involved in civic matters with New Fairview Church of the Brethren, and also serves in responsible positions in the Church of the Brethren regional area and agencies. He has, for the past 15 years, been a member of the Pennsylvania Vegetable Marketing and Research Program Committee and was appointed by the Pennsylvania Secretary of Agriculture to that position, as I said, 15 years ago. And the mark of someone in the area in which they work is when their peers really recognize them. He is the second vice president of the Pennsylvania Vegetable Growers Association, elected by the people he serves. But all that's nice, but in the spring every now and then, preschool classes request that they could have a little tour of the plant farm and greenhouse. Dave takes them around and shows them how you take a little seed and coats it into a healthy plant. And it's always interesting because he gets thank you notes that are handmade by these kids addressed to dear Farmer Dave. With that said, I'll introduce my brother, best friend, Dave Miller, Farmer Dave.
Thank you. I really want to thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. It's quite an honor. When I look around and see the people in the room, I'm very impressed with the Rotary Club here at York. I want to thank Bert also for being so easy to work with and helping me arrange everything here. I really appreciate that. Okay, you guys can see a picture there. York Plant Farm is a small family-owned business located in the Leaders Heights area in York County. This year we received the Century Farm Award, celebrating 100 years of continuous family operation. I'm here representing the fourth generation of the Miller family that has tilled the same tract of land. The picture you see there is actually the original farm taken from the opposite hill. That's the original 35 acres there. This award, though, really belongs not to me, but to the Miller family. And here's a picture of Secretary Greg presenting the family with the Century Farm Award in April. My wife Diane is at far left. She manages the retail store and fills in as needed. Steve Slider, my nephew, is on the far right. He's in charge of seeding in the greenhouse in the spring and also manages the summer help, which is no easy task in this kind of weather. My son Dustin is next to Steve, and he's responsible for growing all the ornamentals for the garden center. And of course, that other person in the picture, probably most important, is my mother. She cooks for all of us, so she's very, very important. But like I said, next slide, please. That's good. This award does belong to the Miller family. There's a picture of my two brothers. You recognize John, they're my younger brother, Andy. When I saw that picture, I thought, I'm going to put it in here and see if you can pick out who is not a farmer in that picture. Pretty easy. Okay. They're a big help, though. It really comes in handy to have a couple lawyers at your disposal. Next picture is my aunts and uncles. They represent the third generation. You know my Uncle Roger and my Uncle Jake are members here, and also my Aunt Ruth, who was introduced earlier. Now, if you have any questions after I'm done talking about the Century Farm stuff, you ask Roger, because I kid him all the time that he's been here for almost all those 100 years. So he's the one to talk to. But family businesses can be a great experience. The degree of loyalty and pride that's present among family members in a family business cannot be bought. At the same time, it can be very challenging. Relationships can complicate business decisions, and business decisions can complicate relationships. Our family over the years has been richly blessed, and much of our family's success I attribute to Christian values being applied to the business as well as the home. Things like a strong work ethic, honesty, and respect, just to name a few. A little bit of history now. My great-grandfather Howard K. and Catherine Miller purchased the farm on April 1st, 1912, and it was comprised of approximately 35 acres in York Township. Howard is on the far left in that picture on the right, and Jacob, my grandfather, is the second from the right. Now, Jacob and his wife Ada soon began managing the business in the mid-1920s. Jacob and his neighbors were even responsible for some major improvements to Indian Rock Dam Road. The business then was primarily butchering, which all took place in the basement of the house, and vegetable farming. All the products were sold downtown in the local markets. In the fall of 1928, Jacob built his first greenhouse, and its sole purpose was to produce vegetable transplants. Rather than going to the field with seed, he would go with the transplant. This gave him about a 3 to 4 week advantage on his present competition. And after he was done sowing vegetables, Ada would sow flower seeds in those same beds, pull them out bare root, grab them in the newspaper, and sell them to market. Before long, other farmers were asking them to start vegetable plants for them, and that's how the greenhouse end of the business got started. More greenhouse and cold frames were added in the late 30s and early 40s. In 1955, the business was split to accommodate the next generation. Roger took over the butcher business, J.L. Miller Sons Meats, and built a new shop at their present location in Spring Garden Township, just down the road. My father, John, and my mother, Betty, received the farm and greenhouse portion. They were responsible for major expansions in the greenhouse business. Growing ornamental flowering plants began to overtake vegetable plant sales. It's under their leadership that I learned the business from the bottom up. The business was incorporated in 1982, which served as a vehicle to pass ownership to the next generation. I had a very good working relationship with my father, John. There are a few very important things that my father taught me that I hope to pass on. First one is a true love and appreciation for the land. There's nothing that pleased him more than looking from one hill to the other and seeing the contour strips wind around the hill. He taught me how to farm and to recognize who really gives the increase. You know, I guess they're out there somewhere, but I have yet to meet a farmer that's an atheist. Maybe most importantly, he taught me the fact that people are more important than money. For instance, a customer may forget how much they paid for their plants, but they'll never forget how much or how they were treated while they were buying them. Don't get me wrong now with that statement. I enjoy counting money as much as the next guy. But a satisfied customer for me is much more fulfilling. Here's a brief mission statement that we have. It's to be the premier source in York County for quality plants and fresh locally grown produce. Miller Plant Farm is dedicated to providing a quality shopping experience through unsurpassed customer service and education. You'll notice in this picture, education is a very important part of that mission statement. You'll see Dustin here as he explains seed germination to an elementary group, and showing them some different seeds. At one time, almost everyone had a connection to a farm. If you think back in your history, there was a time when almost everybody had some farm experience. But that time is gone. We find that the majority of our present generation is very far removed from gardening and food production. It's our goal to help this generation be successful at gardening and at least understand food production. Most of the younger generation has no idea what an inch of rain means to a thirsty crop in July. To them, it should be sunny every day, and don't worry about it, all food comes from the grocery store. Just to go over now with our current business profile, things we do. Today, Miller Plant Farm has about 60,000 square feet of heated greenhouse production space. just built a new retail garden center and farm market, and we farm approximately 120 acres, 40 of which are vegetables. A smaller part of the business is beef cattle. We finish about 10 to 15 each year. Gross sales are in the neighborhood of 1.6 million, up 40% from 2010. Our labor force is 8 full-time employees, counting the family, and at peak season we may employ as many as 40 part-timers. Here's a picture of our groundbreaking, 11/14, that would be November 14, 2010, for the new garden center. Now, this garden center was a huge step for our family and our business. This was built for future generations. We planned for 27 months and built it in 122 days. It's comprised of 2,500 square feet of air-conditioned retail space, attached to 11,500 square feet of retail greenhouse space, and also about 6,000 square feet of nursery space and papers for outside display. Just a few shots here of construction. The site we chose required an awful lot of fill. Here's a shot of the steel being erected. Steel framework, and you can see in the background there the columns for the greenhouse as it was being built. Another shot inside the greenhouse. One of the end wall and the fence as it was being built. And the last one here, we built all winter. And like any other construction project done in the winter, we had lots of mud to contend with. York Chamber of Commerce helped us arrange the ceremony for ribbon cutting. That took place April 4th, 2011. I'm holding the scissors, but my mom did the cutting. We wanted her to cut the ribbon for the new store. It was very important when we went through this process that we built it to be customer friendly. We built it with our typical customer in mind, and that's the middle-aged woman. Greenhouse has well-drained floors, no puddles to get their shoes dirty. Shade system in the greenhouse keeps them more comfortable. Satellite radio to shop by. All the doors are automatic, so they don't have to wrestle to get to their car. Ample parking. All one level, no steps or ramps, totally handicap accessible. Now, when you look at this picture, to a production grower, this picture looks terribly wasteful. Lots of space there dedicated to the aisle. But the wide aisles we found are necessary for 2 cars to pass. And we've also found that the bigger cart you have, the more plants you buy. So we wanted wide aisles. Next picture, this is taken from the hill. I just wanted to show you these. The south-facing roof has 2,500 square feet of solar panels, which provides up to 1/2 of our electricity needs at the store. This facility allowed us to pick up a lot of new products lines. We have flowering shrubs and perennials that we never carried before. Houseplants in the fall and winter months. We have a line of gardening tools. We have both organic and conventional pest controls. And we also allow us to pick up some gardening and outdoor living related items and gifts. We have some gifts on the inside too, which you'd be interested in. Steelers seem to sell well in this area. Also allow us to have an expanded seasonal produce section. An in-house bakery was added in August of last year. So everything we sell in the bakery is baked right on site. Our other retail outlet that we have is the New Eastern Market with seasonal produce and plants in the spring. Another major part of our business is wholesale plant sales. Now, this part of the business has really gone under some change in the past few years. With the emergence of the big box stores, it has really impacted the plant industry. Most of those stores don't pay for anything until they're scanned. So that allows them to carry a ridiculously large inventory of plants. Their hours are convenient, their locations are convenient, and the quality of their plants is getting better. At one time, it wasn't too good. If you can get there when the truck leaves, you're in good shape. A lot of our people that we wholesale to have actually been put out of business by by the big box stores. We feel that the area we can beat them, though, is in quality, variety selection, and customer service. Another influence on the wholesale market is produce auctions that handle spring plants. Many of those auctions, some major ones in Lancaster County, they end up selling the plants at break even or less sometimes. So it kind of floods the market. So in order to keep operating at full capacity, we had to adjust to new markets and had to refocus on supplying vegetable transplants to commercial growers. Yeah, that's right. That's what Jacob did 80 years ago. So we're back to it. We have customers in New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, and our biggest customer is in West Virginia. We had to offer new products. We had to do some custom growing. We have to be willing to grow small quantities, and we need to provide delivery service. A lot of our customers are farmers in Lancaster and York County or Amish, and they appreciate greatly being delivered to. We also had to provide technical service to growers. This entails everything from variety selection, planting schedules, to disease information and control options. We have a unique situation with our plant farm because we're growers ourselves. We see what works in the Mid-Atlantic region, and those are the plants we offer. For the independent retailers that we sell to that's remained in business, we had to offer new products, and that could not be found anywhere else. We picked up a line of herbs, and also we had a large selection of vegetable varieties for them. This year, I think we had 40 varieties of tomatoes and 12 varieties of just hot peppers. So, and now the other part of our business, of course, is agriculture. This is what it looks like on a foggy morning in August in the cornfield. We also grow hay and grain that comes along with the cattle, but they do serve as a rotational crop between years of vegetables. Sweet corn is one of our largest crops. We grow about 27 acres of sweet corn. And in order to have a constant supply, we plant twice a week. So we have a constant supply. I start planting as soon as the ground is ready in the middle of April, and we stop planting about July 20th. So we can continue with a constant supply. Probably one of our next biggest crops is watermelon. We grow about 3 acres of watermelons, and cantaloupes, pumpkins, and at least 15 other types of vegetables. So we're pretty diverse that way. We sell these products at our farm market and New Eastern Market, plus 5 of the York Giants and 3 other local grocery stores. This year we adopted a new strategy for selling more vegetables at almost retail prices. It's called a CSA. That stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And how it works is that we allow a consumer to buy a share of the harvest in advance. We supply them with $25 worth of vegetables each week for $20. For the first year, we had 122 families join in. The feedback has been very positive. We expect that number to substantially increase. What you see on the bulletin board there or on the blackboard is a typical share that they would get. I think that was last Wednesday, actually. There's another shot of some other things set up for the CSA, squash and eggplant and tomatoes and peaches in the next shot. Something that we've learned to do is, in order to be profitable, and that is invest in new technology. Okay, this is a vacuum seeder that we use at the farm. It actually, if you go to the next shot there, it shows picking up a seed one at a time. Tomato seed or any kind of a regular seed it'll pick up. And it'll deposit one seed in each cell. There's 512 cells in that tray you saw before. And that really has sped up our situation as far as growing. We take a 12-week crop and we can do it in 8 weeks with that. Also, when you cut time off the crop, you save a couple weeks worth of heat, which is very good. This is a tray of tomatoes just about ready to be transplanted. Okay, now here, this is a picture of another new technology we picked up, and that was flood benching. Instead of watering everything pot to pot, we flood the bench with water. It stands in water for about 20 minutes. It all drains back in the tank. We use it again, saving a lot of water and a lot of fertilizer. The other real big benefit is the leaves never get wet, so we have far less disease and problems that way. As we conclude here, we do have some challenges to deal with. We have weather extremes. Rainy Saturdays in May can really hurt us. We lose sales, and it's hard to recover those sales. We have heat or dry weather that starts early in May. It'll turn the market right off. Another thing we have to overcome is our seasonality. Our business, we're still thought of as a greenhouse business. We're trying to get customers to think of us all year round. Being seasonal, there's an issue with training new employees every year. Fluctuating fuel prices is always a concern. Heating costs, this year we spent a sizable amount of money to convert everything to natural gas, which is far more stable and about half as much to heat, cost to heat as propane. Freight continues to increase because of fuel prices, not only what we ship, but what gets shipped to us. Some other things that we talk about here are just the cost of being a business, taxes in general, especially property taxes, employee benefits, workers' comp rates, excessive government regulation. You know, it's common sense is no longer common in our government, it seems, in some areas. And it doesn't matter what we try to do, the government has a hand in it. We have so much regulation. And with that, we'll take any questions. You can see my employees sometimes have more time on their hands than they should.
Hopefully be able to be here for a few minutes if you have any questions, but it's always wonderful to hear about a wonderful family, fourth generation business in York County, a very successful business. Congratulations. It's fantastic. Just a reminder, next week's